Greetings over your Orthicon tube. I'm Greg Levine, and this is the party line for December 30th, 2011. And as 2011 draws to a close, I know watchers of this space will not be surprised to hear that the disaster in Fukushima continues to poison the planet. And I know you won't be surprised to hear that unusual events and accidents at U.S. nuclear reactors continue apace. There's pretty much something that happens every week if you're paying close attention. You also probably won't be surprised to hear that the industry is hell-bent on making sure that nothing happens as a result of these accidents or the Fukushima disaster, that no lessons are learned, that no new rules are put in place, that they are required to do nothing in response to what we now know about the risks at nuclear facilities. And you probably also won't be surprised to find out that the industry's wholly owned subsidiaries in Congress and at regulatory bodies are making sure to slow walk the process and cut it off at every pass to make sure that no hard and fast rules get put in place. You also know, because you've been reading here, that 4 members of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission sent a letter to the White House complaining about the chairman, Gregory Yatsko, and Darrell Issa, a representative from California who takes big bucks from the nuclear industry, had a bit of a show trial, witch hunt kind of hearing, in which they essentially tried to indicate that Gregory Yatsko's leadership was somehow impeding the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's ability to police to uphold the safety of America's nuclear facilities, which I still just chuckle about the idea of Republicans getting on their high horse about nuclear safety. And you also, if you read here, won't be surprised to hear that as all of this is going on, the chairman, Yatsko, continues to attempt to pursue a sort of what he considers moderate path towards a safe nuclear future, where he has approved a new reactor design, the AP1000, and is trying to work with the very commissioners who have sought to undermine him and oust him in some crazy attempt to, I don't know, is it about keeping his job? Is it about winning over the industry so that they will voluntarily implement safety procedures, upgrades? He has faith in this process for reasons that I guess are professional but are still beyond me. I mean, none of this should come as a surprise to you as this year winds down. But what might come as a surprise is that all of this has happened before. Well, not exactly Fukushima, but as far as the coup against Chairman Yatsko, yeah, almost exactly. There's a really great story on the Huffington Post by Ryan Grimm this week about how in the mid-90s, during the Clinton administration, a coup was plotted, executed by some very similar players that got the head of the Department of Energy's Office of Nuclear Energy to be pushed aside. His name was Terry Lash. He was a Natural Resources Defense Council scientist, considered, too pro-regulation by the industry, not friendly enough to the nuclear industry. And they worked through the office of Senator Pete Domenici, one of the most pro-nuclear senators of then or any era, and one of his staffers and the deputy at the Office of Nuclear Energy. Interesting, those two players, because the staffer for Pete Domenici was one Alex Flint, who is now the top lobbyist at the Nuclear Energy Institute, the industry's top lobby shop. And the deputy to Terry Lash at the Office of Nuclear Energy was none other than William Magwood IV. Bill Magwood, the commissioner now at the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, who likely stands to inherit the chairmanship should Yatsko get pushed aside. It's fascinating stuff, and I advise you click on over and take a good read because Ryan has lots of really great details. It's really amazing. But what's amazing is that knowing this history, knowing what's happened during this entire annus horribilis for the nuclear industry, that anyone would think that either you can regulate your way to a safe, clean, affordable nuclear energy future, or that anyone will think that this industry and its lackeys are going to back off, call it a day, leave well enough alone, think they've gotten off pretty good, and just sort of count their dollars and sit tight. It's just not going to happen. These people will not take no. Yatsko's head will be up for grabs as far as they're concerned until his last day as chair, be that sooner or later. And I think it's best that he realize that. And I think it's best that the whole regulatory body outside of those commissioners who've been bought and sold realize that. And it would be really great, too, if the White House, who to this point has publicly stood behind Yatsko, it'd be nice if they realized it, too, because nothing that the White House does to appease their large donors in the nuclear industry, and nothing Yatsko does to appease his theoretical opponents in the nuclear industry, is ever going to make either of them more likable to the nuclear industry. This is a lesson that the White House has needed to learn on several issue fronts for its last 3 years. It's something that it's best that the chairman of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission learns right now. So you're given a choice. They don't like you, they're not going to like you, they're not going to help you, they're going to work against you at every turn. So you can really pursue safety upgrades. You can use your allies in Congress like Senator Boxer, and you can say, I'm going to show you guys for the reckless, dangerous, profligate spenders, befoulers of the environment, and people who don't care about public safety that you are, and actually regulate. And if that causes a little fracas, so be it, because the nuclear industry is itching for a fight anyway, and always are, because they will always be trying for that nuclear renaissance, which will likely never come, but a lot of people are going to get hurt while they keep trying. And that, for this whole year, is the lesson learned and the party line. I look forward to seeing you again in 2012. Happy New Year.